This week we will be covering three major news stories that have been going on in Venezuela this week. Our first headline for today is past leaders of different countries speak out to what is happening in the Venezuelan government. At least 10 leaders joined forces to seek effective intermediation of international organizations. This at a time where President Maduro's popularity has plummeted to 25%, and it continues to lower with dissatisfaction of the Venezuelan people because of the scarcity and high prices of food, medicine, and supplies. The latest initiative of fighting for peace in Venezuela was emerged as a proposal of Felipe González, who was president of Spain, and with him are Fernando Enrique Cardoso, ex-president of Brazil, and also Mexico's Vicente Fox. González's interest in Venezuela has Maduro's government uncomfortable. They have warned these leaders that they cannot join the defense of incarcerated political leaders and Maduro's opponents, Antonio Ledesma and Leopoldo López. If you come to the country to work, you need a work visa, said Luis Ortega Diaz, Attorney General, to inquire if the Venezuelan government must allow the former head of the Spanish government into Venezuela. Our next piece of news is that with the Summit of the Americas being right around the corner this Friday and Saturday, the growing tension between Venezuela and the United States will be a distraction for leaders attending, which initially seemed destined to be a celebration between Washington and Havana. The continental appointment that Panama will host, the first to be attended by Cuba since 1994 when they began these summits in Miami. It will be a historic summit which will find a united continent looking for himself, said President of Panama Juan Carlos Varela. However, the celebration was supplemented by an increasing concern since March 9th when the U.S. President Barack Obama extended sanctions already applied to Venezuela and declared that Venezuela is an extraordinary threat to the national security. Our last quick piece of news is also referring to tensions between U.S. and Venezuela in that U.S. President Barack Obama will visit Jamaica on Thursday before the Summit of the Americas, where one of his main goals is to provide more support to Caribbean countries to reduce their energy dependence on Venezuela. Whether in Ukraine or in the Caribbean, no country should be able to use their natural resources as a tool of coercion against another. Biden, in an apparent reference to Venezuela and its oil-subsidized program known as PetroCaribe. We will keep you informed of the events of the summit here at Vene News next week, and we will now be heading to Vene Tweets. Our first tweet is by Mitzi Ledesma, wife of incarcerated political leader Antonio Ledesma, and she tweeted with a picture, "It has only been 42 days since the abduction and look what we have assembled, at Alcalde Ledesma, for all the political leaders," and the picture states, 7 ex-presidents will fight for liberty of political prisoners. Below this, you can see the political leaders' pictures that are involved, such as Felipe González of Spain and Fernando Enrique Cardoso of Brazil. Our next tweet is by incarcerated political leader Leopoldo López, and he tweeted, "I greatly appreciate the commitment of President Fernando Enrique Cardoso for the democracy and liberty of Venezuela." Our next tweet is by Hilda Abrams, who is a celebrity in Venezuela, and she tweeted in response to the government's lack of support to students. "The major asset for a country are their students, but the government denies money to students studying abroad." Our last tweet is by President Maduro referring to the movement of getting signatures in order to remove Obama's sanctions against Venezuelan political leaders. Maduro tweeted, "Jorge has informed me that yesterday, Saturday, we surpassed figures of 8 million signatures. Thank you to all the country. We are on our way to a victory of peace." Thank you for watching, and I hope everyone has a nice week.